Was going through my punish video when I realized my Gladiator video was actually out of date, so here is an updated video as of Year 9 Season 2, which is when Virtuosa came out. A heavy parry guarantees a forward dodge light for 15 damage. It also guarantees his zone, which does the same damage, but takes a lot more stamina, so this is only useful for ledging. Now, I'm not sure exactly when they reverted their change, but the parry bash riposte actually does drain quite a bit of stamina again, so do not sleep on this option. I've even been known to use it as a light parry punish now and again, just if it'll put him out of stamina, because he does have some ridiculous out of stamina punishes, which I'll go over later. However, he does get a 23 damage heavy confirmed off a light parry, direction doesn't matter. Guard break confirms a 23 damage heavy, direction doesn't matter. Wall splats effectively don't matter for him because he still only gets a 23 damage heavy. Except I just lied to you, because if the throw itself puts them out of stamina, it'll confirm an out of stamina toe stab punish, which again I'll go over later. Throwing an opponent without a wall and putting them out of stamina with it is potentially a better option than your 23 damage heavy, but I wouldn't personally use this. Landing a skewer on an opponent when not near a wall is simple enough. You just wait for the bleed to wall set in and it will do 37 damage in total. I'm using the deflect here, so just know that the deflect is the exact same as his chain unblockable. When you are near a wall, you will want to skewer, wait for 2 ticks of bleed to set in, throw them into the wall, and then this will get you a heavy. This will do 44 damage in total. If they're low on stamina, then the skewer throw will actually be able to put them out of stamina, confirming a toe stab into another skewer, into a wall splat or punch, into a heavy. This will do 66 damage in total. The weird thing about using Gladiator Skewer on a low stamina opponent is if they're low enough, then the throw itself, even though it put them out of stamina, will unbalance them. For some reason, this also happens if you wait for 2 ticks of bleed to set in before throwing them. If that itself also puts them out of stamina, then they will also be unbalanced. In the event that this happens, then you can just treat this as landing a skewer on an out of stamina opponent, which I will go over the punish for that later. Getting a guard break while you're out of stamina confirms a 12 damage light, direction does not matter. Getting a heavy up of a wall splat cannot be confirmed if you're right next to the wall from any throw direction. You have to be a good distance from the wall. Here are a few clips of me landing it just so that you get an idea for spacing. Now, a lot of Gladiator's punishes while the opponent's out of stamina revolve around skewer, so I'm just going to go over the rules when it comes to that. Ideally, what you want to do if you throw them is wait 2 ticks of bleed and then throw them. This will do 2 damage immediately from the skewer and then 19 damage in bleed for 21 in total. If you throw them immediately after landing the skewer, this will only do 6 damage in total, and if you wait just a single tick and then throw them, this will only do 12 damage. So with that being said, if you land a skewer on an out of stamina opponent, then what you want to do is wait 2 ticks, side throw them, and then land 2 heavies. This will do 74 damage in total. Landing a toe stab on an out of stamina opponent when you're not near a wall will allow you to just hold the skewer for the maximum length. This will do 10 damage from the toe stab, 37 from the skewer for 47 damage in total. When you are near a wall, what you will want to do is wait 2 ticks and then either punch them or throw them into the wall and take your 23 damage heavy for 54 damage in total. One thing to note about getting the heavy after punching them is you will actually have to change your guard. If you keep it in the direction that you skewered them, then it will be blockable. Guard breaking an out of stamina opponent when you're not near a wall will just get you a light into heavy for 42 damage. Parrying an out of stamina opponent will give you a heavy into heavy for 53. If you do guard break an out of stamina opponent and you're near a wall, then you will want to throw them either forward or backward and then whiff a toe stab, and then go into skewer, wait 2 ticks, throw them into the wall, take your heavy. This will do 45 damage in total. Now you do actually have to whiff the toe stab, so if you throw them into a wall and the toe stab lands, then you will not get your full punish. If you throw them to the side, then they will not actually go far enough for the toe stab to whiff. And I will actually be going over his revenge punishes because he can actually do different things than his normal out of stamina punishes. So for the guard break, you're going to want to throw him forward or backward with a toe stab, go into skewer, wait 2 ticks, side throw them, get your 2 heavies. This does 96 damage in total. Parrying an opponent while you have revenge is going to be the same punish. It's just in order to land the skewer on wake up, you're going to want to whiff a light and then whiff another top light and then go into skewer. Still does 96 damage. You can still use this same setup while your opponent's just out of stamina, and you parry them just to land the skewer if there's a ledge nearby that you want to throw them off. If you do actually whiff your first light and then you throw a side light after that, then it will not be confirmed. When you have Haymaker, a lot of the damage values on your punishes will change. Like if you throw them into a wall and the throw itself puts them out of stamina, then the max punish there will now do 69 damage as opposed to 54. However, with two of these punishes, the moves that you're going to want to actually do to achieve maximum damage is going to change. So like if you get a heavy parry with Haymaker, you're going to want to actually do the zone, which will do 20 damage. And if you guard break an opponent near a wall, you're going to want to throw them into it, which will do 28 damage in total. That's about it. See ya.